May I now request Mr. Santosh Khadagade, President NCQM, to present the welcome address.
Thank you, Ashok. It is my privilege to welcome all the members, the audience, the trustees of Tata, trustees of NCQM members, the speakers, and the audience. The National Center for Quality Management was started in 1985 by eminent industrialists and professionals. Today, it is a premier institution engaged in promoting quality culture in Indian economic sectors through services like training, education, publications, research, and advisory services. It's a non-profit organization supported by various categories of members. The members can avail services and benefits of NCQM, such as participation in the webinars, seminars, concessional rates to the members on training and advisory services. They receive the bi-monthly newsletter Quality Striving for Excellence, and there are library facilities available free for the members. NCQM organized national and international conferences in the past with well-known quality gurus like Dr. Jenichi Taguchi, Dr. Roshanlal Chadha to begin with, and followed by several national level seminars. Currently, the seminars and training programs topics include all the ISO management system training and certification and audit services like ISO 9001, 14001, 45001, and others. The Japanese methodologies including TPM, 5S, Kaizen, Lean Manufacturing, Total Quality Management, Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, Statistical Process Controls, and various industry-specific training and consulting services for the sectors like food sector, health and automotive sector, petroleum sectors. NCQM has conducted over 1,600 public programs, over 750 in-house training programs, and more than 300 organizations who benefited from the programs and advisory services. Our clients who avail these services, they spread across government, semi-government, public sector, private sector, and educational institutions. The publications are bi-monthly newsletter, and we also publish books, videos, training, and research survey reports. We have entered into educational field long back in 1990 with a diploma program in total quality management. Today, over 600 industry personnel have qualified for this diploma program. And from this year, we have started this program in an online mode with two modules, one catering to the graduate candidates with industry experience, and other those who do not have the graduate degree. We have been associated with educational institutions since 2006 when we launched an award program called BQED, that is Best Educational Quality Enhancement Team Award. And for last 15 consecutive years, we have been conducting this program. In today's program, we will have the award ceremony as well, and the winners will be receiving their prizes, awards from the chief guest and lecturer, the lecturer speakers of today's program. NCQM has a well-equipped facility with 2 learning centers where 25 to 30 participants can be accommodated for training purposes. As per the organization is concerned, we have the board of trustees, we have governing board, and various functional committees to address programs, membership, publications, and educational issues. We take this opportunity to thank all of members, clients, faculty, participants of programs, diploma course, alumni, employees, holders, and of course, my colleagues on the governing board for the help and support and guidance. with this, I conclude the introduction of National Center for Quality Management. And today's program is an annual event. It is DL Shah Memorial Lecture. This is the 13th event, 13th consecutive year, and we are thankful to the DL Shah Trust to support this program. I now request Sri Hari Taneja, Trustee, Sri DL Shah Trust, to give a brief introduction, overview introduction of DL Shah Trust.
Trustees and office bearers of NCQM, trustees, my fellow trustees in DL Shah Trust, and the office bearers of DL Shah Trust. I've been asked to say a few words about Mr. DL Shah, in whose memory this lecture is organized annually. As you all know, that Mr. Shah was a well-known industrialist, philanthropist, and a visionary. He made tremendous contributions to the Indian industry in general and to the machine tool industry in particular. His company, Perfect Machine Tools, was a pioneering company in the machine tool industry in India. He was the president of the Indian Machine Tool Manufacturing Association and Machine Tool Marketing Association for a number of years. Early in his life, he realized the importance of quality for nation building, and quality became a passion with him. The DL Shah Trust, whom I am representing here, organizes an annual lecture on the subject of quality in the memory of Mr. Shah, along with NCQM. DL Shah Trust, in association with the Quality Council of India, set up National Quality Awards since 2007. First set of these awards were given away by late Shri Abdul Kalam, who was the President of India at that time. In the late 80s and 90s, when quality was not well known in India, it was not a very familiar word in India, Mr. Shah got 20 books on the subject of quality published and had 60,000 copies of each of these books distributed free of cost to various institutions, libraries, corporates, quality professionals, colleges, and universities all over India. DL Shah Trust publishes, in association with QCI, National Quality Award, winning case studies every year. The copies of these award-winning case studies are available in the office of the Trust. The Trust also publishes fortnightly e-journals titled Quality Info and Safety Info. I would like to end this by saying that Mr. Shah lived by a maxim which was propounded by Albert Einstein. And I quote here the Albert Einstein maxim, quote, 100 times every day, I remind myself that my inner and outer self depended on the labors of other men, living and dead, and I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received and I'm still receiving. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now call upon Mr. Santosh Khadagade to introduce our speakers for today, Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe and Mr. R. Mukundan.
Thank you, Ashok. Today's speakers, as all you know, are Professor Anil D. Sahasrabuddhe, who is Chairman of All India Council of Technical Education, and Mr. R. Mukundan, who is the Managing Director of Tata Limited. The subject is quality of professional education. So the theme has been set in line with the industry expectations, and we have a very prominent, eminent speaker from industry, Mr. R. Mukundan, who has been associated with industry for long, and is part of the Tata group, and he will be the right person will be putting across what are the expectations of industry from the graduates coming out from engineering colleges and management institutions. On the other hand, Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe would inform us as to what are the current initiatives going on in light with the new education policy itself, the AICTE is undertaking to significantly improve the quality of professional education in the country, thereby meeting the needs and expectations of the industry. Now, I just had a call from Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe that there is some government program at the last moment in Delhi, and he has to be there present. Therefore, he, on his behalf, a member secretary will be talking in the beginning, and Professor Sahasrabuddhe will join around 12 o'clock. So we will start with the first session. Let me first welcome Mr. R. Mukundan, Managing Director, Tata Chemicals Limited, who has already joined. And before he delivers his lecture, I have privilege to make an introduction of him. Mr. Mukundan is Managing Director, Tata Chemicals Limited. He is a graduate of IIT Roorkee and holds an MBA degree from Faculty of Management Studies, New Delhi. After completing his MBA, he joined the Tata Administrative Services TAS in 1980. He is also an alumni of the Harvard Business School. During his 28-year career with the Tata Group, he has held various responsibilities across the chemical, automotive, and hospitality sectors of the group. Mr. Mukundan has been on the committees of various industry forums like the Indian Chemical Council, Alkali Manufacturers Association of India, Fertilizer Association of India, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Confederation of Indian Industry, and Bombay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He has served with Automotive Component Manufacturers Association and been the past president of EUICCI and AMAI. He has been the chairman of CII Western Region Council and heads the manufacturing committees at BCCI. So I welcome Mr. Mukundan once again and request him to deliver his lecture.
Thank you very much, sir, and distinguished guests, friends. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you. I want to thank NCQM for inviting me to this prestigious memorial lecture of Shri D.L. Shah. I was there in the National Quality Council of India, where we were administering the awards which were instituted in his name. I'm honored to share my views on industry expectation and also to hear Honorable and respected Professor Sahasrabuddhe, who is later to speak later. At the outset, I would like to set the context, then speak a bit about what is the industry expectation. I want to finish with what Tata Chemicals is doing, so that there's also an industry experience which I can share as we struggle through, as we look at the challenges we are facing in this very contextual discussion we are going to have today. The external landscape of environment we encounter is changing dramatically and fast. Broadly, there are three forces, at least in my view, which are impacting us. One is of sustainability, second is digitalization, and third is what I would call a need for equity and inclusion. Equity because the haves and have-nots, inclusion because we need to include in our whole program the gender diversity, the whole issue of inclusion of those who are not been included in the past. I think something which we need to take care of. These are at the heart of the change: sustainability, digitalization, equity, and inclusion. These are forcing institutions to adapt and transform. And to top it all, COVID has been an event like no other. It has accelerated these trends even more. COVID has almost come to be a moment the world has realized that the direction it was going needed a sharp change. The very fact we are meeting virtually equally effortlessly is something we would not have imagined a few years ago is reflective of the change we see now. I will take few issues in the context for us to get more granular feel of the whole context. There are disruptive changes to business, operating models which impact job creation, labor productivity, and skills gap. There is an explosion of service element in every business. There is a shift from pay for product to pay for service by use. Take vehicle ownership. It is being transformed by use of taxi hailing apps, which make travel without ownership of vehicle easy. Spraying services in farmland, wherein individual farmers no longer have to buy a product and machine, but they're using spraying services. Pick any industry, I think this shift to what I call a servicization of the industry business is a trend which will continue and will expand in future. What is aiding this process is new technologies like IoT, cloud computing, AI, ML, robotics, nanotechnology, 3D printing, genetic biotechnology, metaverse. These are all creating opportunities and also creating barriers to those without relevant skills. So we have to fear if we don't impart the relevant skill, we may be creating a barrier and we may create a new class of what I call as skill refugees. People who are not able to cross and live a normal work life. And this will become a norm if we don't train and retrain our workforce better. Workplace innovations are another trend, which is innovations like remote working, co-working spaces leading to small pool of core full-time employees. Some they're all supported by a large pool of people who are, I call work nomads, who offer their most current skills to multiple employers. I think that also will become a trend in future. Climate change, natural resource constraint is rapidly shifting business to clean and green economy growth. So jobs will be created in green economy and jobs will be destroyed in gray economy. So I think there is no issue in fighting this trend. So we have to skill our workforce to be enabled to work in the green economy rather than the gray economy. There is also, from the workforce side, there's a changing career aspiration with more focus on life. There's no longer a question of work-life balance. It is life first and work later. I think that is taking a center stage rather than focus on this whole issue of work-life balance. Then there is a very positive trend. This is the rise of women workforce. Even though women in workforce has declined, one positive trend is India will see more women graduates than men graduates very soon. Hence, we need to create workspaces that are gender equal, that are safe, and that are friendly, because that again is a future trend we cannot ignore. With these wide expanse of changes happening, it is imperative that industry should change and transform itself and rise to the expectations of the society, because industry is facing the pressure from society. While more things change outside, there are few things which remain constant and they move slowly. Let me also highlight the things which won't change that fast first with them. And I will highlight this a bit more when I speak about Tata Chemicals itself. One of the key expectations from industry is inculcation of right value system and a sense of ethics and an ability to handle ethical dilemma in our workforce, in our talent for future. We live in a world which has got an open world where information can flow at lightning speed, and institutions need individuals who are guided by their inner conscience. This is because values drive purpose, and future of sustainable organizations is a purpose-driven organization. Values are what we do and how we do, and purpose is why we do or why we exist. So I will circle back to this whole issue of purpose and values in my next section when I speak about our own company. Secondly, to cope with rapid external changes, we need employees who are constant learners. This learning ability will be the cornerstone of employability in future, especially because as new skills come to the fore, We need people who can learn new skills and get domain expertise. That takes me to the next point, which is domain knowledge. Every individual needs to be an expert at least in one domain area, and this is very critical. Domain knowledge is the knowledge in practice. It is more application oriented, it is innovative, it is new, and it is current. And it is beyond textbooks and theory. Theory, of course, is the foundation of this domain knowledge, but what is more important is application in practice. World is now more complex than before, and hence cross-functional skills, ability to solve complex problem is also critical. So we need to inculcate in our talent what I call the interconnected nature of the problems, and that the issues are multidimensional. We can't have unidimensional issues and unidimensional view in future. That immediately brings out a trait, inner born trait, and which we need to build about collaborative mindset, ability to work in teams. I want to say, and I think this may not sound fine, that days of star employees are over. These are the days of collaborative teams which function well. So one person rising to be a star is no longer the norm. The norm is actually the other way around. We need more collaborative teams. That effectively means a cultural fit is very important, commitment to work and willingness to move across boundaries. And these are boundaries across function, across expertise, across location, across geography. So I think in future, a person will have multiple career, in the sense that the careers may be every 5 to 6 years may be changing. And I think that is a expectation of the future. This needs to be coupled with a very inclusive mindset which respects diversity, including gender diversity at workplace. Finally, I think right attitude is important. The will do and can do spirit is important. So in all, I think what we need to balance when we sort of work with our workforce is, while we build strength in doing skills, we also need to build strength in being skills. These are softer skills which we many times ignore, especially when we look at technical education, because we think that we are building people who just add, multiply, subtract, or look at in a mathematical way. But real solutions to problems come when you have a combination of what I call as doing skills and being skills. And this is an area we need to build. And that takes me to what we are doing in the company, because we find many times when we take young people, it is in the softer skills they lack a lot of knowledge, and they need to be made sensitive about it. We are part of Tata Group, and for us, purpose is fairly broad. I'll start with the first point, which I said. Our purpose is to improve quality of life. It's a very simple word, improve quality of life to everyone we come in touch with. And our value is driven by just one simple word, which is leadership with trust. We want to lead, but we want to do it while earning trust of our stakeholders. So we want to improve quality of life. That is our purpose. That's why we exist. And the way we want to do this is by leading, but also doing it in a way that we can earn trust. And these two are the two pillars on which our entire institution is built and has been run for the last 175 years and will continue to be run. So this thing hasn't changed. This thing has remained almost a constant the way we've looked at it from the time of our founder to even today. So specifically in each one of these areas, we sort of look at various steps to undertake within the company to build strength. One of the elements which we have done has been diversity. It has been one of the key pillars of our culture. We always open doors to youngsters from across nation. We are boundaryless in that way. Also, more recently, I must tell you, this has been a very, very difficult task. We ensure 50% of our workforce which is coming in is women. And we are working with government to get more and more aspects of the chemical industry opened up for women workforce. Then that's one of the key focus areas we have in terms of the way we want to go forward. And when we bring women workforce at entry level, we also have to sensitize our senior leadership, middle management to be more sensitive to them, and also create workplace which is more conducive and welcoming of them. Our youngsters who come in, we take them through what I call as value start module. There are 10 foundational skills which we impart them, because we think these elements are not being stressed upon in the technical schools and other schools. One is the, and I'll go through each 10 of them, because if we can include them in our curriculum, I think we will make for a well-rounded people coming out of these first level education institution. One is about displaying professional and smart personality. We work very hard through programs on displaying smart and professional personality. The second thing is about managing self. What at a young age, people don't get the sense as to how to manage self. They get it as they age. But I think trying to give them, sensitize them on that is very important in our view. Also managing diversity. Third element which we work with our youngsters when they come is how to manage time and stress. Many times time and stress becomes a big problem, not just in the workplace, but also in their personal life. And I think that is something we highlight. Then we give them a well-rounded view of business itself, awareness of business, customer, competition. You enter a factory floor, and I think there is a specific point where a product is leaving or a product is being made at the midpoint. Every employee must know where is this product ending in my customer's home or customer's factory, and what is it being used for. And I think that appreciation will drive them to produce even better quality every time. Then finally, financial numbers. These are very important because that then drives cost structure, that then drives the ability to sort of for organization to produce the surplus which they can reinvest in the business. When doing all this, I think there is also this issue of how do you collect data, how do you analyze data, how do you present data. I think it's something which data is becoming central to the way we run business. I think that is something we do. We also make them sensitive about managing different stakeholders. For example, we take our youngsters to go and engage with communities around our factories, communities around our customers' communities, go and meet their families to understand what their issues are, so that when they come back to work, they are more sensitive. Finally, we talk to them about design thinking to solve problems. And this is at a very young age, right at the point when they enter. There are 2-3 issues which we teach them in addition to self and diversity, which is at the self level. We also tell them how to be more creative and how to be self-motivated, because employees of future are not going to be getting motivation from outside. They need to be motivated from inside. And lastly, when you work in teams, there is this art and science of persuasion. How do you persuade your colleagues, and what is the art and science behind this? These are 10 areas we stress upon. And I think a lot of our employees have found that these have helped them not just at entry level, right through their career. We have an induction program. This is titled as RM. It is a year-long program where there are specially curated subjects on all these areas. And this helps them become responsible citizen and also long-term employees, not just in Tata Chemicals. Even if they go and work for somebody else, they're able to sort of contribute. We have a lot of experience sharing sessions with technical leaders across industry. We also provide experiential learning, which means they go and do projects. And as I mentioned, we also do a lot of storytelling to emphasize what is our culture, what is our ethic, what is our value system. Because through stories, you can build the value system of employees. We have we do during the first year what I call as meta competencies. This is competencies across various functions through plant rotation. We have specific time everybody needs to spend on safeties in the safety department, because safety is every employee's responsibility. We also believe CSR is very important part of the way we work with our social community. So they also go and work in live CSR projects. And these live projects are then evaluated by the senior leadership, and the final absorption is made on the basis of how they've done during the first year and interviews at the corporate leadership. So, and also, I think senior leaders, my colleagues who work with me in working for this company, in leading this company, we have something called Leadership Connect, where we have one-on-one engagement with our new joinees and young talent. And fundamentally, we also make them participate in social media campaign and other various projects in and around our communities. So all in all, our approach has been that while our young employees, young talent coming from all the schools come with very good theoretical and very good grounding in technical, the emphasis we give when they come in is on the softer skills, and also make their skills more actionable. So this has been our approach to build it. But all in all, I want to say that every skill is learnable, every aspect is learnable, but what you need to inculcate very early on in employees is a sense of value system, is a sense of purpose. Why do we exist? And how we will conduct our business and how we will, each person needs to conduct himself or herself in the process of conducting business of the company. I hope this has been useful. I thought I will speak from three contexts. What is the big change happening in the world outside? And that is pressuring the companies, that is putting a pressure on entire industry and corporate sector to make change. So the change is not happening because corporate sector itself is driven. It's actually being pressured from external world, and we have to change. And that change is leading to specific programs we are running within our company, and we found this useful. Hope this was useful to all of you. Thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to the session of Professor Sahasrabuddhe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And since we have some more time before the next speaker joins in, we would request participants to post their questions for Mr. Mukundan in the chat box, and we will get them addressed right away.
You may also unmute and ask questions if you want.
Oh, I can.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Mukundan.
Morning,
This
morning.
is Professor Amol Roy. I wish to ask a question to you. I am aware of some of the good practices. My contemporary Prasad Menon has been with the Tata Chemicals, and we have worked together in ICI. Now, one of the points I want to know from you, you have a very good presentation, that the employee participation, small group activity, is there be anything of that nature, and what are the results? That is first question. Second question is Tata Chemicals. They are trying for that prestigious Deming Award, which even the other companies of Tata Group like Tata Steel and Tata Motors have already got.
Thank you very much, sir. I had the fortune of being trained by Mr. Prasad Menon himself. So a lot of what I speak is what he has inculcated in me. So I want to thank him for being such a wonderful mentor and such a wonderful trainer. And it's delight to know someone who was with him in ICI. In terms of the projects and the work which our youngsters do, really there are in some projects they are excellent because they come with solutions which are out of the box. I just want to say one. I was a few years ago walking through the plant, and I was speaking to these young GETs who had come in. One of the GETs actually had designed a replica of our air system, a compressed air system, on his mobile phone using an app, and he could actually tell where the valves were and what is the sequence of closure of valve and what is the sequence of opening of valve. And I asked him, how did you do it? He says, no, I had free time, so I didn't do anything to do, so I decided to do it. So we pulled him out and made him actually in charge of digitization of the factory. Because so you get youngsters with such great skills. It is about how we sort of use their skills in more creative, more productive work, and that is what we constantly search. Because everybody is very different. Everybody is not the same, and each individual's strengths must be captured and moved forward. And we hope that we are able to provide that environment, and that was the lesson I learned from Mr. Prasad Menon. In terms of Deming Award, sir, I think as far as we are concerned, we participate in an internal Tata Group process called JRD QV Award, Quality Value Award. It is an award which recognizes excellent performance in business. It is named after our dear chairman for many, many decades, Mr. JRD Tata. And we have a cutoff figure of 500 points on a 1,000-point scale, which companies must score to be part of the Tata Group. So most companies have crossed 500. And you get this award when you cross 650 points. I am delighted to say that Tata Chemicals crossed 650 points this year. So it is a very difficult award. It is based on the principles of Malcolm Baldrige Award. This is an award given to industries in the United States. A similar award is in Europe called EFQM Award. So we use EFQM and Malcolm Baldrige. So this has been modeled on that, and I think about 7 Tata companies have now qualified for JRD QE award.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mukundan.
Thank you, Mr. Roy. Mr. Mukundan, there is another question from the participant, and I'll read it out for you. Sir, you stated about sustainability. I think it is now the right time to leave the linear economy principles and practices and to adopt circular economy principles and practices, as sustainability is on the top of the circular economy. Am I right, sir?
Absolutely right, sir. I think I just want to say that this message from Dr. Keshav Rao Singhal is absolutely on the spot. And I think there are 3 pillars in sustainability which we are focused on. In our view, if somebody else may have a different view. One is carbon and climate change. We have to decarbonize our production process, delivery processes. So that is one pillar. The second one is exactly what you have highlighted, sir, which is circular economy. We think that is to reduce the resource intensity. Even as we speak, for this planet to survive and feed so many people and help them lead a good quality of life, if everybody were to lead a good quality, we need 3 planets. We don't have 3 planets, and the only way we can address that is through circularity. And the last one I want to add is a pillar which we use called biodiversity. I think it is in everybody's interest to protect our biodiversity, and we don't have species loss. Otherwise, lots of species are disappearing from the planet. I think we must protect them. So 3 pillars are what we operate on: climate change and decarbonization. The second one is actually circularity, and third is biodiversity. And all 3 of them work is being done. But you know, there'll always be complaint that we are not moving fast enough. We need to move faster. So that is an effort which we will do.
Thank you, sir. Another question is, given the speed of change, how do you think we can accelerate the skilling and reskilling of employees? If you have any initiatives that you have adopted, appreciate if you could share that.
Thank you. I think Mr. Mahesh Gandhi also wanted to ask a question. Sir, would you like to? I can then answer both together. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Mukundan, I'm deeply sorry for joining you so late because of some technical reasons of not being able to get me a proper connectivity. Pardon me, all of you, sir. I have a small request because what we are talking is quality of professional educational. Am I correct? Now, since a lot of these component of education begins at the college level and technical high school level. So our experience is we run some ITIs and vocational MCVC training center in Bombay, in Ghatkopar, where the institution has 8,000 students. The strength is 8,000 students. Now, the situation is we have been requesting corporate people that since the whole situation begins at the ground level, why can't the professional, companies who are trying to employ these youths, where you rightly said that they have a lot of talent, but the opportunity and the training programs to an extent are lacking the way the stakeholders needs it. And as from your talk, which I heard that Tata Chemicals, when you went into your plant and you saw some youngsters with so much dynamism in that. Now, if some of these are really tapped and that talent is being put to right use right at the inception stage. So we have a suggestion. Since every corporate company needs good the trainees and for their future, the employees. So if such people select some of these institutions, come there, their fundamental basic requirements and their training program may be prepared by the company itself. And these students at the ground level could be selected, trained during vacation for 2 to 3 months after a time. And if they are employed, there are 2 advantages. Once, you save the cost. Whatever, if your man-hour working cost is say 3,000 rupees or X, here it is so cheap. You can, and some of these you could contribute to those institutions. So they will have a financial numbers, and by which if these students, you get ready-made trainees with your training program to meet your requirements of your, why some of these corporate cannot think on that level also to improve the quality of professional education into the system?
Thank you, sir. I think many corporates are trying in their own area where their teams are present, because we do, for example, in and around our factory in Gujarat, where we have taken two of the ITIs under our fold, and our employees go and work with the ITI director and work through the curriculum, and also a lot of our HR team members go and work with the youngsters so that they are job ready when they come out. And your point about this is absolutely right. I do know Tata Motors has over 500 ITIs with whom they are working. We need to find the connection. I hope we can find the connection for the one in Thana too. But it's easier to find the connection closer to the factory areas, industrial areas, than in a city like Bombay. But I think nothing should stop us from imagining what we can do, because Bombay has transformed itself into, let me say, the startup capital, as well as it has also transformed itself into skills like digital, and also something which we should ponder about, maybe something we can take up separately. As far as the previous question was concerned with respect to what is our experience with respect to new skills and reskilling people, I think what we do have is continuous learning. We do rotate our employees, and we sort of put them through different areas, but we manage what is broadly we call as a let's say T-shaped skill development, which is depth in one area but breadth in many areas, so that as new areas come up, we can build depth in another area too as very quickly. But the starting point always is depth in one area, and then exposure to multiple areas where we can build depth as the need arises. Or many times we also find that it is also individual motivation. Some individuals are very willing to retrain themselves very, very quickly and smartly. Some individuals are slightly more reluctant. They have to be, we have to engage with them and talk to them to motivate them a little bit more. But it is a reality. If you go to our factory now, no longer you will find that there are valves and operations which are being done by manual work, and everything is happening in the control room. And the whole issue is about digital operating PLCs. These are all new skills which we have. So we've had to retrain our people, and even the contract workforce is no longer unskilled. They're all fairly skilled, and that's the direction the world is taking. So it is a process, not an easy one. Very easy to sort of speak in and put down these are the requirements, but very difficult to execute in reality. But we have to do it because there's no other choice.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mukundan.
Thank you, Mr. Mukundan. I'm Dr. Rao. Can you hear me, please? Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Mukundan?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I have a very small question. While the focus on skill and skill development and etc. is, in my opinion, is relatively high now in comparison to earlier, an aspect that is getting the increasing focus now, and the feeling that it is most important now in view of the competitiveness which we are seeing both in industry and otherwise, how quickly our employees are able to learn the changes, and also the component of agility. The fastness with which they learn and, as you rightly said, implement what they learn, resulting in towards the desired results, seems to be making those organizations who are conscious of this particular agility component of it seem to be in a much better position in terms of the competitiveness. That seems to be the case in a relatively large number of organizations in our country, and I think we are happy on that score. But do you have any inputs or experiences in this specific important aspect, please?
So actually, I think I can give you about the personal journey I had when I went to our factory in Mitapur. When I was posted, I found the same point which you mentioned, that there was huge need for reskilling and learning new skills like Lean Six Sigma. How do you look at collect data from machines? How do you make the machines overall equipment efficiency go to close to 100%? These were all issues which our workmen in the front line were not aware of. So we started a program called Titli, and the way it started was that every Tuesday we would managers and workmen would hold each other's hand in a large circle and take a commitment that for next 1 week we will go and improve our place of work. And each manager was given a small place of work. I know, for example, steam tube dryer as my place of work, where I would go and look at it and look at what improvements can be done. And we would work directly with the workmen. And initially only 30-40 workmen came. I think by about 2 years' time, we had a circle which had over 300 people at one point of time. So it was a large circle of people holding hand and taking a commitment that we want to improve the factory. And I can tell you, if you see the way our operations have improved, our costs have come down, our quality is very high, our on-time delivery is high out of Mitapur. This was a factory which at one point of time was almost making zero profit or very close to losses. Today it makes over 500 crores profit, and it's our most profitable unit. And if I say what has made the change, it is fundamentally the employees and our workmen. They have done the change. We have worked with unions, and I think it is about exposing them and connecting with them. It is a difficult journey, but somehow it has been possible. And every company needs to do this. I think connecting with frontline is very important. I think and enabling them. They need to know why now, why me? Because any change, that is what people need at the highest level and lowest level. Why we need to change, why we need to change now, but why should I change? Because the fear of change affecting an individual finally stops them from changing. As long as we can address these 3 points, I think it works out well. That is our view, but it's a difficult journey. It's a very complex question, sir. I don't have answer. Maybe I succeeded one place, but other places maybe it will be a struggle.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukundan. Thank you.
Mr. Dedhia, you had a comment to make. You may please make it now.
Yes, yeah, this is Naveen Dedhia. What I'm saying, the Tata Consulting is the really good program for the new engineers. But the question always comes up because the technology is changing as well as the world is changing, and new technology, new tools, new methods comes in the picture. So ongoing education is very important for everyone. Even in some industries in USA, they require their employees to take at least 40 hours of the education within a year. Every year they have to either attend the conferences or attend some kind of courses or classes to keep up with the state of the art and education itself also. So both things becomes very important because education does not stop with graduation. Once you graduate, doesn't mean that you know everything. The world is changing so much that the engineer and particularly technical people and everybody, in all fields, they have to learn. Keep on learning, and learning becomes a lifelong activity. Because even we know that before the computer, we were giving all our typing to the secretary. Now everybody is required to type themselves. So the learning becomes very important in every field. So it does not stop over there. So also with the learning, some companies do send them to the conferences also, because everybody does not have the education department, or small companies, they can't afford the education department or to teach, as well as they can't afford the employee to go away for a week or get training. So it becomes important for the both self-initiation on the part of the employee, as well as some encouragement from the industry also. That's what my comments are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Mukundan, I think it's a learning experience to hear this conversation. I have one small question. What is the result of the initiative of 3 Rs, reduce, reuse, and recycle in Tata Chemicals, especially in Mithapur, and also the energy conservation? Briefly, if you can enlighten us.
So energy conservation is a program which is ongoing. So we measure energy intensity for every ton of product produced, and it is improving. But I think we now need to change the source, not the use, because I think carbon has to be eliminated. So the bridge switch which we have is to switch from coal to gas, and at some point we'll have to go to solar or concentrated solar or hydrogen. But that is little far away. But the immediate step is to switch to gas. And energy intensity has been coming down. We report this in our annual report. And your first question was, I forgot, sir, what?
3 Rs, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Yeah, I think we have many projects, sir. I think our approach is to sort of convert any waste into useful products. So we actually have a cement plant, and that cement plant came out because we wanted to convert all our waste stream into a useful product for the market. So it is a constant endeavor to reduce and then recycle as much as we can. And this is something which we have been trying to do, and there are opportunities. Every year we discover some new opportunities.
Good, very good.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for this session.
I think it has been a very good session. Very good session.
Thank you, sir. As a last bit, let me just check if any more questions from participants are there. They may please unmute themselves and ask the question.
Yes, sir. I think the next speaker will be available at 11:30 only. So I have a question to Mr. Mukundan. Sir, are you able to hear me?
Processes are not down.
Yeah. My question was related to the new education policy of the government, and with that, do you see any changes and vis-a-vis the expectations from industry, how they will be fulfilled or affected?
I haven't studied it well enough, sir, to comment, because that's outside my area of expertise. I'm happy to learn and happy to go back now and understand it a bit better. So I am unable to comment on that, sir.
So in the meantime, we formally thank Mr. Mukundan for joining and delivering a wonderful speech. I hope you will remain with us for to listen to the next speaker if your schedule permits.
Yes, sir. I will remain, but I'm going to mute myself and close my video. Thank you.
Sure, sir. So may I request Mahesh Bhai Gandhi, sir, are you there?
I'm there.
Yeah, yes, sir. May I request you to, since you missed the morning, session and about NCQM vision and other things, you may share your views till we have the next speaker with us.
Yeah, is Professor Sahasrabuddhe coming late, joining us late?
Yeah, 11:30 is the scheduled time where the member secretary will join us, and then Mr. Sahasrabuddhe will join as he has some urgent meeting with the government of India.
Okay, then because I had made out this thing as a welcome
I have briefly introduced NCQM. I would
you
request
have.
you to talk about the vision and also the bequet, award, how it started, and what is
Fair
our
enough,
contribution
fair
to the
enough, fair enough.
educational field.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'm happy that first let us thank both our today's guest speakers, especially Sahasrabuddhe Chairman AICTE and Mr. Mukundan for giving NCQM an opportunity to share your views with our members. Thank you very much to both of you. Coming back to NCQM and its role, ever since this institution was established in 1985, we are all aware that NCQM has initiated, especially has engaged in promoting quality culture in Indian economic sectors through various services like training, education, publication, research, and advisory services. Apart from that, fundamentally, if we see the coming up of NCQM over a period of time, it was felt that it is not just the portion of NCQM being only into area of advisory related to industry, because the link has to start at the fundamental level. We need to teach and introduce quality culture right at the inception. And probably it was felt that it would be the best idea to tap the education institutions where we try to introduce the quality culture, and that's where our role in introducing quality in education and quality and governance in healthcare came up. With these thought process, at that time, the committee decided that why don't we introduce the best educational enhancement team quality awards. Through this process, we could invite the student level participation and start building up the fundamentals based on Six Sigma courses. And with that thought process in price, we requested the institution to join us. And that is how the Best Educational Quality Enhancement Team Award was introduced, where the institutions were required to participate by using Six Sigma tools, especially of waste management and savings and all that area. And I'm sure over a period of time, a lot of participation and benefit has started. And today also, we are going to award the best of those out of the three best of them, and Best Education Advancement Team Award is already installed. And the thought process was to make a humble beginning, which will help to grow the quality culture in life also. It was just not only related to industry, but by introducing quality culture, which will build up your own style of living also. So keeping all these things in mind, the area of quality we try to introduce into those position. This to promote the use of quality methodologies in education institutions. This was started as way as back in 2006, a competitive award program on Best Educational Quality Enhancement Team, which is known as Bequet President Award. This competition is held every year in December month, and the winners are recognized. And after DL Shah Memorial Lecture, the winners are given and recognized with the Bequet Award. This was a really helped and introduction into quality into the field of education. And that is where our board and the trustees and the managing committee felt, okay, this is a humble beginning which we have tried to introduce. We are thankful to especially our DL Shah trust, who has been good enough to back it up with whatever we have been doing into quality, and we are grateful to them. And that is why the today's lecture series is all at the instance of DL Shah Trust. We are really grateful to them also for giving us an opportunity to introduce this quality program into the people at large. So that's why I think NCQM role is effective. Apart from it, there are a lot of training programs and along with this are being already introduced at different organization level. And if we really see, we are catering to a fairly large number of cross-section of industry in the various spanning from food safety, healthcare, automotive, petroleum, IT. These are very important areas, and we are also trying to update those ISO and other lean manufacturing activities which are right now in vogue, and that is where we are trying to bridge the gap and keep it up the latest availability and needs in the field of quality. So our effort has been to ensure that the members and the industry at large for which this institution has been established is trying to meet and bridge the gap between yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I mean, that's the line we are trying to work it out. Thanks to all our members who have been so effectively playing their role. And we also continuously get this from people like you.
Thank you very much.
We have been
sir. Thank you very much for your informative talk about the NCQM and various initiatives.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So now the next speaker, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Member Secretary, is already with us, and I request Mr. Rajiv Kumar to give a speech on today's topic, that is the AICTE initiatives for improving quality of professional education in India. Professor Sahasrabuddhe will join us after some time as he is involved in a government meeting. So
thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Rajiv Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. As told that our Honorable Chairman, he has got some urgent meeting and urgent work. So he will be joining late, but he has given me the responsibility to share what we are doing at AICTE. Myself, Rajiv Kumar, I am Member Secretary of AICTE, which is the regulatory body in the country to regulate technical education in the country. First of all, good morning to all esteemed respected speakers, and thanks to the trust for giving this opportunity to AICTE, where we can share our initiatives with distinguished speakers, learned speakers, and other viewers. Sir, AICTE is primarily a regulatory body, but in the recent times, AICTE changed its roles. Now it is less regulator, but it's a facilitator. Now we have completely changed our roles. We are working totally as a facilitator. And if you look at the national education policy, there is a term light and tight. So we are a light regulator, but wherever it is required, something wrong is happening, we are very, very tight. So when we say we are a facilitator, we are light and tight. So in the last 4 and 5 years, what I will share today in introduction initiative taken by AICTE is that industry was always talking that our graduates, they are not industry ready. We discussed this issue with industry and we came out with a quality agenda in technical education in 2017. That is known as the quality agenda. And there were 10 points. 10 points were in that quality agenda were revision of curriculum, mandatory internship, induction program, examination reform, teachers training, industry connect, startup, and all such things what you can think they were part of this quality agenda. And without wasting time, we implemented this quality agenda. And I will share in what way and how we implemented this quality agenda in technical education. But I'm proud to say that most of the part, say 99% part, we have already implemented, and that is also reflected in the new education policy announced by the government. First of all, as far as revision of curriculum is concerned, we constituted committee comprising industry experts. We took that curriculum, what we have prepared is not prepared only purely by the academician. We make a committee of the prominent industry people, those who are working in the area. We took their help and the best academic experts from the best institutions of the country, say IIT, NITs, and others university. That curriculum was prepared. And the important part of the curriculum was that we gave so many flexibility to the universities as well as freedom to our students. So what they can think in during their study, apart from the curriculum, we give space to think beyond this curriculum also. So that was the main initiative of AICTE, and that curriculum was prepared within 6 months, and that was released. And I'm proud to say that most of the technical universities in the country, they are implementing that model curriculum prepared by AICTE. And the important thing is that we are not saying that 100% you follow the AICTE curriculum. There is a flexibility. If some institute is situated in an area where some type of expertise is required, so freedom is there that particular institute or university can make changes in the curriculum as per the requirement of the local needs of local industry and the specialization available in the institute. So this freedom is available with all the institutes and industry. And another important point was that in that curriculum, that we reduced number of credits. Previously, there were only teaching, and all the time students, they were sitting in the classes. There were 220 credits in most of the universities. There was no space, no room that they can think beyond classroom teaching. So we reduced number of credits. When we reduced number of credits, the idea was that not to reduce the burden of the student. The idea was that they can think beyond their classroom. So many activities, so many things are prescribed in the curriculum in the form of internship. So we have made internship mandatory for our students. It is credit now. Now the internship has got credit in our curriculum. So when we reduced one side, we reduced the credits, then other side we made this mandatory, this internship mandatory for the students. So making internship mandatory was very, very simple. But important task was how the students will get this internship. That was the biggest challenge for AICTE. So we connected our industry people. We connected all the industrial bodies in the country. We sat together and we tried to connect industry with the institutions, nearby institutions. And we made compulsory for our institution to have an industry representative in their board. So this is how we are somewhat successful to bring industry to the doorstep to our institutes. Now they have good bonding. They are having MOUs with the industry, nearby industry, where they can send their students for internship. So that type of initiative we have taken in the form of internship. Another thing was that this induction program we introduced because the students, they are coming from the diverse background to the institute. In an they may be from the remote areas, from villages, they may be from the hilly terrain, but most of the students in engineering colleges, they are having the diverse background, maybe linguistic, they may have a language problem also when they are entering the students. So what we have done, we have devised a 3 weeks induction program for our students, where there is no teaching. This is a very scientifically derived or prepared program. Every activity of that program is defined, and in this program, students get an opportunity to interact with their peers, with their friends, and they share their feelings, and whatever they have inside, they share with the peers. And this program we introduced 3 years back, and the outcome of this program was that there are very less suicide cases in the colleges where this program is seriously implemented. So we could able to reduce this menace in education, suicide menace, to a large extent by introducing this program. And another thing, before implementing this program, I personally attended this induction program in one of the institute. This is IIT BHU, and this program starts 6:30 in the morning with some physical exercise, then lectures by expert lectures, then interaction lectures, yoga, music, whatever you want to do, whatever students want to do, all type of flexibility and freedom and facility is provided during this program. And even they visit nearby places to have a bonding with their peers. So this program is successfully being implemented in our colleges. Another initiative that we have taken, and which industry is also talking about, is that training of the teachers. Because we have revised curriculum, we have added all the new areas, thrust areas, new technologies in our curriculum. But the important thing is, who will teach all these new areas, new technologies? Because our faculty, those who are in the colleges, remote colleges, they did their qualification when there was no new technologies like IoT, AI, and robotics. All these technologies were not there at that time. So our immediate task was to train the faculty members. So we immediately started with the collaboration of all IITs, NITs, and reputed institutions, faculty development programs to train faculty in thrust areas. And believe us, sir, when we started this program, we were apprehensive because the volume of the teachers, they are very, very large. How we will be able to train this faculty in such a large number? But this pandemic gave us an opportunity. We switched to the online mode, and these faculty development programs, they were conducted mostly by IITs, NITs, and reputed university, having industry flavor. Industry was also partner in all such programs, and we could train around 4 lakh faculty so far in last 2 years in these thrust areas. So we identified thrust areas that I will also share with you. So this is one great initiative we have taken, and this initiative has been appreciated and awarded by World Book Record, and we have been given the award for the last 2 years for training faculty in a structured manner by World Book Record. In last 2 consecutive years, we are getting this certification. Another important thing is perspective plan of the technical education. There was no perspective plan of the technical education. So we make a committee having industry people, and the committee was headed by Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, who is the chairman of IIT Hyderabad. And after and having representative from all industrial bodies, that perspective plan, the major recommendations were that AICTE should not start any new college in the traditional branch. Traditional branch, when we call that is electrical, mechanical, they should not start because most around 45% seats, they were lying vacant. So that one recommendation was there. And the second recommendation was there, if AICTE should give recommendation only in the thrust areas. They identified future technologies and they said that the AICTE should give approvals only in the future technologies. These were the two major recommendations of that BVR Mohan committee ready as far as the prospective plan of the technical education is concerned. So we accepted their recommendation. We implemented these recommendations, and for the last 3 years, this is the third year, we are not giving any approval for the new technical education institution in the traditional areas. Wherever new institutions they are coming in the thrust areas, and we all know these thrust areas are AI, IoT, blockchain, 3D printing, robotics, data sciences, and quantum computing. All these such areas we are giving approvals to the new engineering colleges now. And not only that, we are promoting education for our girls students, technical education girls students, by imparting fellowship to our girls, those who cannot afford, those parental income is less than 8 lakh rupees per month. So we are providing 50,000 rupees per annum to such girls, and we are not asking any papers for such thing. Only they have to submit the income proof of their parents, and that 50,000 they are transferred into their account directly. So this is the biggest initiative, and all our Divyang entering in the technical education, they all Divyangs are being given 50,000 per annum as a scholarship, that is known as the Saksham scholarship, and the scholarship being given to girls, that is known as the Pragati scholarship. Apart from that, when we are implementing some skill courses, we are giving creating infrastructure in our courses, because our institutions, because these institutions they are working from 8 to say 5 in the evening, and rest of the time their infrastructure and the other things they remain idle in these institutions. So we are preparing our institutions to start skill courses during off time, during weekends. So we are bringing such institutions to that arena, and we are promoting through our scheme Karma to start skill courses, and these skill courses they are certified by Skill India also. Also, we are helping our faculty by providing research grants. We are providing help to our institutions in form of modernization of laboratories. We are giving huge money. And another very important initiative we have taken is to start Idea Lab. This is the extension of Atal Tinkering Lab in schools. This is the extension of that Tinkering Lab. And these Idea Labs, initially as a pilot project, we have started in 50 institutions across the country, where around total expenditure apart from building and other things is around 1 crore, where 50% is being supported by AICTE and 50% we have asked institution to get industry support. And this is a way to bring industry to our institutions. And these Idea Labs, they are functioning very well. We are training our faculty members how to run these Idea Labs in their institutions. So faculty training programs are also running, all equipments, and these Idea Labs, they run 24 hours. There is 24 hours, 7 days. They are open. There is no, we have asked, don't put only any lock in such Idea Labs. And not only the institutes of students of that institution, but students from the nearby institutions, they can also come, they can also work. Every support and help is provided by institutions and AICTE in this Idea Lab. So this is the way where we are giving space to our students, where they can bring out what they have in their mind or what they want to do. We are giving them space by taking various initiatives. Another initiative we have taken for our students, that we are supporting their clubs, because we know that institutions, there are several types of clubs. In one of the institution I went, there were around 25 clubs of different types. There were history clubs, sociology clubs, apart from technical clubs. So we are supporting these clubs also. We are providing them grants to students directly. We are supporting if students, if they want to visit some marvelous civil marvelous or architectural marvelous in the country. So then we are supporting them also. And we are supporting students if they want to visit abroad to publish their, to attend some conference where their paper has been accepted. So there are a large number of schemes for students, for faculty, and for the institutions. And we are in direct touch with the industry bodies. We are always taking their help and support and advice whenever we are framing policy, we are changing policy. And I thank that we have been given this opportunity to share our views and ideas and what we are doing here in AICTE for technical education. And definitely, if we get suggestion from the trust also through this program, we are open. We will have your suggestions. We'll like that people like you, they interact and they support us in our initiative. Your advice and your suggestions, they are welcome. So with all these words, I thank you all, sir, for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to share what we are doing in AICTE for technical education. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Rajiv sir. May I request participants to post their questions for Mr. Rajiv Kumar. Alternatively, they can also unmute themselves and ask a question directly to Mr. Rajiv Kumar.
Yeah, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, I have a question which I had asked to the earlier speaker, Mr. Mukundan, on the new education policy. So I think you would be the right person to answer this question as to how the new education policy is going to impact the professional education in the country. What are the salient features and what are the changes expected?
So that is the very relevant question. As I said, we took the initiative in 2000 quality agenda, which I was mentioning. This is the all replication in has been replicated in the new education policy. New education policy talks about the curriculum. Policy talks about the internship. Policy talks about the teachers training. Policy talks about the innovation and startup. That is also of the point of. So as far as new education policy is concerned, we have taken most of the items we have already implemented. Another thing I would like to share is that entry and exit in the new education policy. This is an initiative and academic bank of credit. Whatever you are doing, that is credited as a credit and that is deposited in a repository. That is the another important feature of the new education policy. As far as entry and exit is concerned, Government of India has decided, they have framed the ABC, that is ABC framework, and the regulations they have notified that this is ABC means Academic Bank of Credit regulations. So Government of India has come out with that credit. Now we are educating, we are talking to the universities because ultimately universities have to implement that. Government is only gives a guiding structure to the education in the education sector. So we are now working with our universities how they can implement this exit and entry in their institutions. And also suppose someone is doing something in vocational form, and that credit will also be counted now, whether the student is entering in the technical education or professional education or in the general education. So this type of framework is almost ready and it is being implemented by some of the universities, but definitely our universities, our autonomous institutes, they have to be very, very dynamic. So they have to take decisions very dynamically. And even if they are delaying the decision for 2 days or 3 days, then the sense of the national education policy is defeated. So our educational policy talks about all such things. Only thing is that we have to change our mindset. Our universities, they have to implement it in the right spirit, in taking as the student as a central point, and faculty has to play a very, very important role in implementing this in true sense in this national education policy.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask one question, Ashok?
Mr. Banerjee, yes, you may go ahead and ask the question. We have then a follow-up question from Ms. Frida as well.
One thing, Rajiv sir, I didn't get an idea what Mr. Mukundan wanted help in improve quality of life, building trust and diversity and all that. Your technical courses and all that are not directly addressing them. How are you bridging this gap? This is one thing, because the topic today is to bridge the gap between needs and expectations of industry and what AICTE is doing to bridge that gap. So could you kindly enlighten on that, sir?
Thank you, sir. This question you rightly said. Industries was always talking about their students, they are not industry ready, as I said in my initial address also. So we invited industry. So whatever you want, you put all such things in the curriculum. You become the part of the management of the college or the university. Now it is mandatory in all engineering colleges to have a representative from the industry. And all curriculum what we have prepared, what universities are implementing in general, they have industry input. And also in this internship that has been made mandatory for all the institutions, and not only mandatory, we are connecting industry, we are talking regularly with our industrial bodies, with our industry people, that you please come forward. And we have prepared a portal also, sir. I am happy to share that through that internship portal, AICTE has prepared that internship portal. Large number of industries, this internship opportunities in the industry, they are available. Industries posting their internship requirement on that portal. And this is a matchmaking portal. A student can show their interest in the internship, and the internship is granted through that portal also. So through this program, I will request the people, those who are attending this program, please visit our internship portal and encourage the industry. Large number of internship opportunities are still available, but if more and more internship they will be available over there, then students will get more choice. So these type of initiative we have taken, and definitely you are right, the result of these initiatives we cannot expect in a day or two, but beginning we have started it in the last 2 years, and the result they definitely they will come in time to in 2 or 3 years we will see the result also. And the other part is that expectations of the not only the industry, expectations of the student also, our students, what they feel about the education. So this 3-week induction program, so I would like to share one story with you with this 3-week induction program. When we implemented, I attended that program. I was attending one session, interaction session. A student got up and he shared his views in that interaction, and I will share that views. The student said, sir, it was in IIT BHU, that when I was preparing for JEE, my parents were very sure that I will get IIT Bombay, computer science. But my rank was not good. I got IIT BHU, and that too mechanical engineering. I was not even knowing what is computer science, what is IIT Bombay. I was not knowing even what is mechanical and what is IIT BHU. And when I got mechanical, that my parents, they were not talking to me for 7 days. I was confined to a single room watching TV and working on the laptop. So you can understand the mental state of the peer pressure of the poor student that whose parents were not talking to him because he didn't get the good rank and didn't get the IIT Bombay. So that was the pressure on our student, and that is the pressure today also. But through this induction program, we could address some this issue to large extent, but definitely many more things need to be done. It's a beginning. I said what I said in the beginning also, and we need help and cooperation from each and every quarter in this regard. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have a question from Mr. Sandeep Submis, one of the participants. What is the perspective of AICTE about core engineering branches in light of future HR needs of India and the world as a whole?
Yeah, the core engineering branches, as I said, that we prepared the prospective plan, and most of the seats in engineering colleges, when we talk about the engineering colleges, I'm talking about the engineering colleges affiliated to some universities. Around 45% seats, they are vacant in our country as far as AICTE data is concerned. So we started that we should not start new courses in the traditional branches because the industry was demanding more technocrats in the thrust areas like new technologies like AI. So what we propose that these core areas, they can have minors in these thrust areas. So what we are emphasizing now, that all these core areas like mechanical, electrical and civil, they can have minors in these thrust areas that we have proposed. And not only proposed, we have come out with the curriculum of these minors. We have requested our institutions, you give extra skills in the form of these thrust areas to our students, those who are working in the core areas, and that is working very, very well. Most of the institutions, they have adopted as a minors to these newer skills, and they are blending it with these core areas, and the results are very, very good. Industry has also accepted such type of change in the mindset of the institutions, and our students, they are also well conversant now with the newer skills.
Thank you, sir. There's one question as our previous speaker, Mr. Mukundan, mentioned that the industry today requires people with high collaboration skills. So what is the initiative at the AICTE level to sort of include this collaboration skill within the curriculum for professional education?
Absolutely right. Collaboration and the teamwork, that is two very, very important part of the education. Now, on the one side, we talk about the collaboration, and the other side, we talk about the teamwork. We have taken several initiatives to inculcate such type of habits and culture in our institution in the form of, we are organizing hackathons. Previously, we asked our students to have a team comprising of students, 5 or 6 students, having one girl from the same students, from same institutions. Now we are enhancing the scope of this. We are now, through this Idea Lab, we are asking our students to work collaborative works. Students of one institutions can collaborate with the students of another institutions, and they can work in Idea Lab. So Idea Lab may be in third institution. So this type of collaborative work we are starting, and that is very, very important for the holistic development of the students, and that is the requirement of the industry also.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask a question? Hello?
Haji,
am
please.
I audible?
Please.
Thank you very much for giving us an idea about the role of AICTE in transforming the education system, technical education systems in our country. One of the points you mentioned, which really attracted me, that AICTE is going to be a facilitator, not a person like a policeman.
Right.
It is a facilitator. It is not working as a policeman. This reminds me during my career in Glaxo, when the audit department was finding fault, and the finance director, Mr. Homi Kushrukan, made it that no, audit department will show how to do the work. So same way, AICTE also has to probably show how the best things can be done by various academic institutions. But unfortunately, the quality of education in various engineering colleges and also various management institutes have not improved. There is always a tendency to get an accreditation where they are not actually up to the mark. So I am not criticizing, but my experience shows that improvement is necessary. Keeping some professors' name who are actually not working there, and just dummy name to give getting an approval from AICTE. These sort of situations are taking place. So the role is not only a facilitator, but also to ensure that the quality is safeguarded. Quality of education requires a lot of improvement. We have got A, B, C category engineering colleges. Some of the engineering colleges are closing down because industry are not taking their people. Same way we have got B and C category management institute. It has sprung up and the quality of education is poor. Can you tell us something that there has to be a proper way of identifying and finding out how best they could be improved? That is my question.
Thank you, sir. One thing you said that the host faculty in the institutions, their names are there and they are not there, right?
Yes.
So you rightly, we have taken in 3 years back, we have taken an initiative. We have started taking their Aadhaar and their PAN now. And now we are matching it. I'm happy to share and surprised to share that when we started this exercise, around 1.25 lakh faculty. The institutes they have removed in the country, 1.25 lakh faculty was removed from the list. So that was a small initiative by just taking a small initiative.
Very good.
So by taking their Aadhaar number, but I'm definitely admitting that 100% it has not been solved, but definitely 98% it has been solved. And whenever we are getting such type of complaints, and we are very harsh on such type of complaints, and even we are putting that institution in the no admission category. So that action we have taken, but definitely problem is still there. 100% has not been solved, but I'm happy to share that 98% has been solved. And another thing is that you talked about the accreditation of the institutions, those who are in the B and C category, and mostly they are in the remote areas of the country. So, sir, this problem is there, and we are supporting, we are hand-holdings with such institutions by providing all type of support, whether it is mentoring. We are asking people like you, those who have delivered in the life, that you please become the mentor for such institutions. If they want, some of those institutions, even if you provide good mentors, those who have delivered in the life, people like, so they will not like to have such type of mentor. But if you wish, we are asking, we are requesting you, please, you go, you mentor such institutions. So I'm happy to share that we have identified 500 mentors, sir. And these mentors, they are mentoring the institutions. Not only mentoring, we have those institutions, those who are performing very well. We are asking such institutions to mentor the nearby institutions, 8 to 10 institutions. So these types of initiative we are taking, but definitely, as I said, it is a beginning. It's a good beginning. Every suggestion from every quarter is welcome, and we are open to suggestions. If you have many more suggestions, but we are taking help of our senior faculty members, from persons from the industry, those who have performed and delivered for the society and for the organizations. So we are deputing them as mentors, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm bringing a small question to you, that in the city of Bombay and this area, we have got management institute having both MMS and PGDM. Now, with the current directive from AICTE, they are just appointing for the namesake 2 directors. One is of MMS, one is of PGDM. And they are having common faculty, everything is common, nothing has changed. It is only implementing the AICTE directive. So I think some time should have been given, number one. Number two, if it is done, it has to be done seriously. It has not been eyewash. Eyewash really reduces the importance of a decision with a good purpose. I am sure you know about it.
No, sir, it is not in my mind, because this.
No, I am giving you the, say, now you have said that even institute has got PGDM and MMS concurrently running. MMS is the Bombay University course. PGDM is a course which is by the institute, and probably it is approved by the AICTE. Now, when there are 2 concurrent courses, then you should have separate faculty, separate director, separate facilities. Maybe your library and accounts department can be same. That's a different thing. So what the institutes are doing, they are putting one of the faculty members as a director of PGDM. An original director is already there. And the faculty are, different names are being shuffled. And like that they are putting. So now, is it a thing seriously being done? Is the objective being fulfilled? Is a question I am raising to you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to share with you, as soon as we came to know this problem, so last year we took a decision, either they can run this program affiliated to university, or they can run all PhDM programs. Now, these two programs separate. If you have any institution in Bombay which is running these two programs simultaneously, please write us a mail, sir. We will take, I think this problem should not be there in any part of the country.
May I give a suggestion? May I give a suggestion, Mr. Rajesh, sir? The question is that it's a very huge problem. 28 states, so many institutes, rural areas. Now I'm giving an example of an international company who is working with a franchisee in India, like KFC. Now what KFC has done, that they don't know what is the quality of the foods being served in the KFC outlets in India. So they have got mystery customers. That is auditors who have been already explained, they have been given a form and they are properly trained. They will come and take food as a mystery customer and they will write a report to KFC about their experience. And it may be a good report, it may be there are variations. And if there are variations, immediately the store manager will be hauled up and to make. So they are all having a fear in their mind that if I do not operate properly, then I will be questioned. Now, maybe similar type of a concept with some modification could be adopted by the AICTE to take care of a vast country having a large number of auditors, and auditors will get their remuneration based on amount of work they are doing. I am just giving a suggestion for your consideration.
Sir, your suggestion is welcome, sir. But I will like to share another problem with this thing. So previously there was a culture of this evaluators, or what you call. Now they evaluators in, if you remember 2010 era, they have a hand in glove with the institutions. So they started taking some hera-fairy and all such things. That's what happened. And now what we have done, sir, we have totally removed this physical visits to the colleges by the experts. All visits, they are now virtual visits using with the help of the technology. Now experts are not going. But sir, one more thing is there. Whenever we get any complaint, we take it very, very seriously. So this MMS and PGDM problem, maybe 2 years back it will be there, but I am sure that in today, I'm not saying that it may be not, but rarely you will find, because any institute cannot have two regulatory bodies. One is the program approved by the university, another program which is purely approved by the AICTE. We have disallowed it. So from the last 2 years, we have disallowed it, but we have given a window of 2 years, that because they have to create infrastructure. From that one we cannot ask them. So we have, so this type of we have taken. But still, sir, if your suggestions, we have noted down that we will discuss it at our forum, and how best we can implement it, definitely will do it.
No, my suggestion is not to take any coercive action against the violators, but try to see that they comply with the regulations. There is an objective behind it. What you told is a very important objective, that it is a diluting. Say like MMS, you take 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs of fee, B category management institutes. For PGDM, you are taking 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs of fees. And this is same, your process of engagement and others is different. Same faculty is teaching, same infrastructure is there. Students are also feeling that one student of MMS feeling that I have paid, I am very happy with 2.4 lakh or 5 lakhs of rupees, I am getting a university degree. And another person for PGDM in the same institute is giving 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs. They are giving some tips that you will go for international immersion, this and that. This is the way they are differentiating. And now the objective is not to penalize them, but try to see reasons that if they provide additional infrastructure, and also provide the reasonable inputs to the people or the students who are paying much more fee than the others, then I think it will be just and equitable. That is the old. See, I am not asking for penalty actions. I am associated with a number of institutions, so I am not looking into that a part of it. We are looking for uniformity and also making things better. That is the improvement is our objective.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Roy. Mr. Rajiv Kumar, there is another question that has come up. You were talking about, certain core branches being closed down because, for institutions, you are now focusing on new technologies. So some question from Mr. Yogesh Padia. Does AICTE has any obligation on faculty if their core branch is being closed down? I believe he's probably indicating to the fact that is there a way to reskill, retrain them into the new level?
Yeah. So my suggestion to my friend Yogesh is that he should attend AICTE faculty development program in new technologies, because we have to change with time also. Because when I acquired the education in 1990, so most of things they were not there. We have to skill ourselves, reskill ourselves at time to time. That initiative we have to take. If a person from the core branches is not having integration with the newer skills, so that will be a difficult time for that person, I admit it. But definitely when we are closing new branches, now we have taken a decision that from this year onward, we are trying to take a decision that we will not completely close a core branch. Because if we start closing all the core branches in the demand of the other courses, definitely tomorrow there will be a deficient, India will be deficient as far as core engineers are concerned. So the core branches, they have important role to play, but definitely my suggestion to my friend Yogesh is that faculties of such branches, they should also integrate new skills with their core branches also to make them useful.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm just trying to check with participants if they have any more questions from Mr. Rajiv Kumar. Okay, I think there are no further questions for you, sir. So, do you have any?
I have one question, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure, Mr. Gandhi.
Can I take it up, sir?
Sir, please, sir.
So we are running ITIs and vocational and MCVC courses in Bombay. We just needed someone from AICTE to come and evaluate and assess the existing structure and the courses that can be taken up under the infrastructure. Is that possible for anybody to come and guide these people? Because whatever local people are there, they just are unable to give any indications of the benefits that the institution and the stakeholders can take.
Sir, can you repeat the question? I did get the question, sir. Can you please, may I request you, sir?
My question is, we have ITIs, we have vocational training, and we have MCVC and technical high school within our campus.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, position is, we need someone from AICTE to vet the entire structure of the existing setup, number one. Because every time we talk, we say, oh, the AICTE has got so much direction and you are required to follow. But we don't know what is that. So, is there way out to enable the, I mean, not us, but all these stakeholders who are running AICTE to guide them correctly? Number one, what is AICTE? What is the role in achieving, and how best they can implement some of the programs so that that extended program can be taken up? Because every time we find, I mean, sorry to use these words, but there has always been a different political coverage which is taking place, and the politicians have taken the maximum advantage of it, keeping all these people at bay. I mean, let me be blunt and sorry to use these words.
No, sir.
But see, being ours is a 110 years old institute. I'm talking of my example now, my own. Ours is 110-year-old institute. We started technical high school and ITI at that time, as way back as in 1957. And we have got all these turner, fitter, wireman, draftman, all job-oriented courses, which are now the government is trying to encourage. But there is no proper assessment or guidance coming from a recognized institute like yours that, okay, yours is this is lacking, this is what you can do, and this is what is available. So can that happen? Because this is ultimately, we don't depend on government at all, but at least for guidance and how the bridge can be done in looking at the current educational policy, which is likely to offering. We need to create that bridging arrangement.
Sir, I got your point, sir.
Yes.
Sir, first of all, I would like to make it clear that these ITI courses and all these such courses, they don't come under the ambit of AICTE. So this is the first part, sir. But we are helping, we are willing to help you, sir.
Yes.
We are helping, we are willing to connect you to the right body also.
Please.
In what way? If you wish, our officer, they can come and they can suggest you how you can get the approvals and how you can done the assessment of your institutions. Not as a regulator, but as a friend, you are asking us, we will come to your institute, sir. But I'm sharing that these ITIs, they come under the Ministry of Skill, not under the Ministry of Education, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it is under HR, but your Ministry of Skill, and they come to us for giving donation. I mean, that you are your institution is selected for modern classes and whatnot. They come and do that demonstration, and you see, they come under HR, Human Resources and Ministry of. But then they say we are also under technical. We are also under it. So it's a very confusing to know what is what. But still, our number request is we want to really create that bridge.
बिल्कुल ठीक है सर, बिल्कुल ठीक है सर.
जो हम लोग सिखा रहे हैं और जो आप लोगों की जरूरत है, whether AICTE is a technical body, am I correct?
Absolutely.
And ours is also a technical institute, whether you call it ITI, MCVC or whatever call it.
Right,
but
sir.
we need to create some connectivity where the students can take advantage of all these things for future. And we are prepared as an institute. We not only want to offer them the current courses, but we want to add-on courses which will help them.
Sir, what I can suggest you, sir, we will send our officers to you. They will interact with you. They will try to find out what is the problem and what is the requirement of and how AICTE can help your institution.
Please.
Not as a regulator, but as a friend also, because
Yes.
they don't come under our ambit, but we are very, very open.
Very good.
Because
Very good, sir.
You
Thank you
are
very
working
much.
for a cause, sir. We understand that you are working for a cause, and we are
Yes.
willing to help you. So we will send you, you share the details of the institutions with you, of your institution with us through mail or through this organization, sir. We will send our representative, our officer. They will visit,
Please
sir.
give us please, you can share your data to our office and CQF, and we will be happy to take over and in response to what we have talked, I will come back to you with the information which is required.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And we would also request whenever Mr. Sahasrabuddhe or there or all you are there, would please come and visit our institute. It will be our great pleasure.
मैं
It
सर
will be
जरूर
our
आऊंगा.
great pleasure.
मैं जरूर आऊंगा सर आपके पास.
जरूर आइएगा सर, ये बहुत ही फर्क पड़ेगा. Thank you very much for all your guidance and support, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. Namaskar.
I think that brings us to the end of the question and answer session.
In interest of time, we want to proceed ahead with the program, and first thing we would like to do is to show the trophies which we normally award to the speaker, give to the speakers in the actual session. Now we will be virtually showing the trophy, and request to start with Mr. Mukundan to kindly accept the trophy.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next is for Professor Sahasrabuddhe.
We are also thankful to DL Shah Trust for all these today's entire event, actually.
Yeah.
I hope the representative are here. Are they on the line, sir?
Yes, they were. We had Mr. Taneja and Mr. Kambata. Both were there in the.
Oh, very nice. Very
morning.
nice.
I am here, sir. Hello, sir.
Thank you. That's our. They have been always with us in the for quality movements. Thanks.
Mr. Kambata, would you like to share your comments on the event?
I'm very happy that this memorial lecture is continuing, and we've got very eminent speakers coming in. Unfortunately, Dr. Sahasrabuddhe could not join us, but I don't know what now the next part of the program will be. But whatever has happened just now and all the participants giving their feedback was, I think, very practical, and especially you, sir, Mr. Roy.
Yes, please.
Your suggestions were very, very, very practical. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, I think.
The last part of the program is a vote of thanks that will be proposed by Mr. Prasad Nair, Executive Director of NCQM.
Respected Speaker, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Member Secretary, AICTE, and Mr. R. Mukundan, Managing Director, Tata Chemicals Limited, Mr. H.K. Taneja and Mr. Kambata of D.L. Shah Trust, NCQM Trustees, Mr. Mahesh Gandhi, Mr. B. Banerjee, NCQM staff, the President and Chairman of various committees, ladies and gentlemen. Both Professor Sahasrabuddhe and Mr. Mukundan have delivered. Mr. Rajiv Kumar and Mr. Mukundan has delivered thought-provoking speeches, which made me speechless. I am sure all of you would agree with me that we have become more aware, much wiser, and these lectures have given us a lot of food for thought to explore opportunities and possibilities to contribute to national well-being. On behalf of National Center for Quality Management and D.L. Shah Trust, and on behalf of those present here, I would like to place on record our sincere thanks and appreciation to Mr. Rajiv Kumar and Mr. Mukundan. A big round of applause, please. Events like D.L. Shah Memorial Lecture, 13th in succession, would not have been possible without the financial and moral support of D.L. Shah Trust. It may not be out of place to mention here that D.L. Shah Trust has given NCQM a corpus fund of Rs 25 lakhs, and out of the interest earned on this fund, we organize the D.L. Shah Memorial Lecture every year. A big thank you to the trustees and the management of D.L. Shah Trust, and we look forward to your continued support and patronage. NCQM would also like to thank all those present here today for making it convenient to attend this prestigious event. Finally, I would like to thank NCQM staff for their untiring efforts to make this event happen. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We formally now close the program for today. Thank you very much for joining in, and we look forward to having you in future programs very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashok ji.
Thank you, Ashok.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.